Welcome back to Digiburst, guys. We are back with a new set, and I'm playing one of my favorite decks. I'm playing Redbirds. Redbirds got a little bit of support in the new set with a little engine called Growlmon and Gilmon, which have undulations gain a memory. They fit really well into birds because of that undulation effect that the Phoenix X can absorb. I'm playing against my friend on the left. He's playing the new adventure deck with all the new structure deck effects. We start off pretty simple, both have rookies. Trying to find our consistency. I'll push out my Ukimon, get a free surge, get a free egg flip. Good when I have a second rookie there to follow up with into my back. So we also got a new GG as a egg for the deck. Has the inherent effect for undulation, add back a Growlmon or Gallant in name, which of course the new, the regular Phoenix X can absorb as an effect at the end of attack to add back a Growl. And the neat thing about all that is that it combos really well with Sora, because Sora only minds that if you add back a red Digimon, and as all of your Growlmons and Gallants are red, it can trigger the Sora to bounce back Sora and play a free bird. Really nice synergy that I think just seems really accidental with the set. So it's just nice that things work out that way for birds. We add a Garuda off the search for the Ukimon, which is really nice, so I can go up the line now. And of course I have another egg for the Digimon into my nursery. So with the Digimons, it is a promo of the new prizing for locals, so we don't have too many right now. These are all fun matches, so we're just pretending that all the GGs I have as nurseries are the Digimon egg that are just harder to come by. We'll pop the training to go into the Garudamon. This new Garudamon is from the structure deck. It gains when evoing it gains +1 security attack, as well as the inherent effect to give Alliance. We'll go into the Garuda X, which will pop something that is smaller than it, and add back a card if I want to. I decided not to add back a card because I want to have that Growlmon in my trash for when I want to trigger the Sora later. When of course I add back the Growlmon. We'll go into the X Antibody to go into the Phoenix X. We've got the Blitz off with the Phoenix X, and we're going to Alliance with the inherent effect from the Garuda. So we're doing 3 checks naturally. With the Alliance, of course it absorbed the +1 security attack from the Garuda, and we get the trash one when we trigger the end of attack undulation effects with the Garuda X. We gain back a couple of memory with the inherent effects, and we just pass over on to a really strong position here now that my opponent has no security left, and I've got 3 players on the board, as well as a rookie pushing out. And of course, Phoenix X is really intimidating with all of the undulation effects that it still has lingering, and the X Antibody proto form it has in its inherent effect if it would be removed, adding back cards I need. He'll fetch back a Virgimon off the undulation of the inherent effect. Spending his guys, cheapening this play by 2, so it's a 2-cost Kabuterimon. And then he's going to play something. Does it trigger an on-play effect? I'm not 100% familiar with all the effects. This one, I think an on-play can evo up for free if you have certain cards, but he doesn't have the right cards yet, so he's just going to play the Virgimon, which this one has the on-play gets a free out. So evo free, evos into 1 for free, which will trigger to evo something else for free. This will trigger the Angel 1 to trigger the Angel Woman for free into the Metal Garurumon for free. Lots of free evoing and playing for their deck, but they're gonna need it if they want to get a comeback. So the Metal Garurumon will bottom deck something of play cost 4 or less, and then the of level 4 or less, and the levels can increase depending on the colors of tamers you have. We'll trigger the proto form to add back my Garuda X, and the proto will go into the security. Then he's going to trigger a different effect that allows him to attack after evoing, I believe. And of course the Metal Garurumon will play out a Togemon when it swings as well. Pokemon on play will trigger to Evo up for free, suspending something and unsuspending the Metal Garurumon, punching over the Gil and passing turn, still leaving me with a guy on board and a push out for my Gilmon. I've got 2 bodies to essentially swing into security, and my Ukamon of course will trigger to look at top 3. The Garudamon's looking good. If I can pop, if anything becomes a blocker again, because I do have effects to become blockers if they get another tame route, and blockers just might be what they need if they ace into a War Greymon, because I believe the War Greymon naturally has blocker. I'm just, I was trying to force a trigger onto the Digimon, because the Digimon's deleted, I can bounce back Sora to play out a bird, and the bird can get a rush through the Guru X effect, which gives me another thing to push with. Now that it was bottom decked instead of on deletion, I've got to think about how I'm going to push for a game, whether I'm going to Evo up this Gilmon to try to remove guys before pushing, but it also has the option where if it would be removed, it can play another free guy. I decided just to go for the easiest path and just swing with the Gil, see what happens, because the Gil still has the egg where if it would be deleted, I can grab a card. Remember, the eggs are all proxies for the promo egg that I only have 2 copies of in this video. Eventually does decide to go first, look for the rookie, and then just go a option to add the top and go into the security. The option's really good. If it's checking security, it plays out a tamer. That's what you really want, setting up a tamer in the first part, having that first be the option check there. And it's very difficult for me to trash the first option check because all my effects trigger at end of attack rather than at start of attack, unfortunately. I just fetch my other rookie and I'll pass there. I have all the other pieces already in hand, so getting the Rush Gilmon prepped up for mid to late game is really good there. They'll go into the Beermon, look at top 3, grab back, anything to start off their line. Probably the Bergermon is a good start for their line, because they want to have multiple things so they can play out and Evo up for free. I'm just going to try to take the advantage there, go into my Gilmon, popping their Beermon. Some lizard on bird violence. I would try to trick him on 1 because I don't want him to take advantage of my Groundmon just being on the board there, so I pop a boost and then play a boost looking at top 3. We'll take another Phoenix X because I already have both Gilmons already in hand. Passing turn, opponent will push up. We'll see what they can do here. It looks like they don't have the pieces, they're just going to swing in, fetch back their Beermon with the on deletion effect from their egg. It doesn't seem like my opponent has all the pieces they need. They're just going to try to search again, try to find their tamers, and there's 3 tamers in a row. That's pretty much what they need. They grab the Tai Izzy. A Tai Izzy can come into play if I punch in security, with the option there being the first check. But we'll see if we can just take advantage of the fact that they've only got 1 guy on board, nothing pushing out. We'll pop the boost, we'll go to 4, and we can go ahead and start making a lineup. Into the Garudamon there, we'll get the +1 security attack, and I draw into the Growl X. I would have preferred to have that Growl X first, but you play the cards you dealt with. Go into the Phoenix X, Phoenix can pop something that is smaller than it because it's got the Garudamon as a source. We're trying to dig for the Proto form so that when we go into the Phoenix X, it will gain all the on deletion effects, but unfortunately we don't see it. We're just going to do 2 checks with the Blitz. It gains the, of course, +1 security attack from the Garudamon from earlier. This would have been a really nice push if I had Proto form, but unfortunately just did not see it. But we still have all the on deletion effects, so if he deletes the Garuda X, we are going to get a big payout. You got the tie for free. It's a good memory setter. You might be able to take advantage of it too when I don't have a memory setter or anything on board for delays. He's going to play out the tamers, and we'll see if I can take advantage of here, if I have enough to push out and go for a lethal. I don't think I have all the pieces I need. I think I might be just a little bit memory short. And of course, it would have been really nice if I had the Proto form. because I think the Protoform would have definitely allowed me to push for game there if I had it. Get all the on-deletion effects at the end of attack. We'll pass turn, give him his 2 bonus memory, because I put him on 1, he went to 3 with the tie setter. He's going to use the tie to get a free play out, cheapened to 0 cost. And now he can do a big push here into the Angelomon for free off the Togemon on play effect. The Angelomon will trigger to Evo up into the Bergemon for free. Bergemon can Evo up again for free into the Mega Kabuterimon. Mega Kabuterimon would suspend something, but there's nothing to suspend. Playing out the Izzy tie, he's going to try to provoke a ace play here. I think that's what he's doing, leaving 2 big guys on board, and of course with the option, if a guy would be removed, he can play at level 5. With the Izzy tie there, everything gains blocker, which is a really nice way for me to remove things with my Garudamon ace if I have a Garudamon ace with a tamer to play out. But I don't think I have the pieces, so I just hold back, and I'm a little bit scared of the delay option there. He blocks when I swing with the Garuda X, and now he's thinking about if he wants to trigger the delay option. Yeah, because if I push out my Growl X, I don't want it to be removed from whatever he plays out with the option. Say if he plays out I'm still pretty unfamiliar with how Adventure works, but I know there's some level 5s that can remove bodies. The Magnamon, I think, can put things back into security, and that would have been a really bad position if I pushed out and then lost my stack like that. So I go for more conservative play. I find the Medieval. I could have went into Medieval with the Growl, but yeah, I was just really unsure about if a valuable Medieval would have been removed. But maybe it would have been better if I did do it that way, because I wouldn't have given him so much memory. Yeah, it's all a bit of hindsight, I guess, because I didn't know what he had in his grip to play out, and whether he had aces either. Aces would have been really nasty as well. So now I have the Medieval can trigger to delete something when something's played out. My opponent, of course, has priority, so we will get the trash into draw to. I'm just reading up on his cards, trying to familiarize myself with all the effects, so I know what the best time is to pop. I'm thinking that the best time to pop a card would be on the second play, because that's when because having 2 bodies on board, I think, is when he can pop off and can start evoing up a lot for free. So this is what he does here. He uses all his tamers to cheapen by 3 to go into a BM1 for free. The BM1 will search top 3 to grab back and to grab an adventure guard. I think this is the point where I have to pop something, because otherwise it's going to start evoing up and then evoing up for free. And that's what I want to avoid with those 2 bodies. But Medieval is pretty good. I'm just reading up on the ace here because I'm unfamiliar with it. I'm pretty sure it naturally has blocker, which is good for my Garudamon removals. So we're going to pop the Medieval. Medieval can also suspend something as well. It doesn't have to pop the thing it suspends, so it's good to try to minimize his push here. He goes to another Palmon, ditching and drawing 2. Let's see if he has all the pieces he needs. He's done a lot of drawing and searching this turn. This Palmon will evo up into the Togemon, and this is exactly what I thought. Once he starts having 2 pieces, he can start evoing up a bunch for free into the Angelomon for the free evo. The Angelomon will trigger to evo the Palmon for free into the Bergemon. Bergemon will trigger to evo up, I believe, for free. He's going to evo itself into another level 5. And we're back into the same position we were last turn, where he's got 2 level 5s on the board with the option. And then he can use the Angelomon to evo up into the ace. We'll bottom deck the Phoenixmon, and we'll miss out on all the on-deletion effects for the Phoenixmon, unfortunately. And now they're all blockers with 2 guys on board, and it can swing after evo, I believe, into the Medieval. When the Guru swings, it can play out a level 4 or lower into the Togemon from trash. Togemon then triggers to evo up for free. The Garurumon here will give something +1 security attack and 6k. I think he probably wouldn't have put it on the Garuru there, because if I aced him into something bigger, it would have been really nasty. but of course I just don't play level 7 aces in this deck. We decide to push out. There we go. And we're going to do a really big play here to try to take advantage of the fact that he's got an ace sitting on board, and all his guys are blockers for my Garurumon. And of course I just pick up a Sora off my Ukamon play. I'm counting cards in my trash and my opponent's trash. I don't think we've hit 20 yet, so I decide that this rookie that I have in my hand is best fit for the nursery, because he wouldn't have been able to gain rush with it because I don't have enough cards. We both don't have enough cards in trash. Drawing the red scramble here is really nice to go into my Garuda Ace. Garuda Ace can play out Sora. Sora will trigger, will resolve the Garurumon effect to delete our blocker. Overflow will trigger first, but we're going to activate the option. The option has a different timing to everything else, so the option will activate first to play out a level 5 for free. They're going to play the Skull Greymon, which can Gooseling Retaliation and Raid, I think. So they're going to give it to the Angel one. We're going to gain a bunch of memory back with the Overflow, and then we're going to trigger the inheritable effects to gain some memory when I delete something. Really big play there, because now I've got 5 memory when I just spent 2. We can progress here into a Garuda X, which can start adding back pieces, which will trigger Sora, which is what I'm thinking about how I want to go about this play. So the Garuda X here will add back a card. I'm going to add back the Medieval Gallant, so I can do a really big push. And then delete something with less DP than it. DP equal or less. So we're going to delete 7,000 Garurumon. And then we can trigger Sora. I'm going to play out a bird. We're just thinking about what birds I have. So this is a little misplay here, not misplay, but an incorrect effect resolution. I'm supposed to only play out a bird from my hand, and I do have a legal target there with Garuda X, but I just forget how the effects work, and I play the Garurumon from my trash, accidentally giving the Garuda X +1 security attack, but and then the Phoenix X resolves to give it rush when something's added back to my hand. Resolving the effect properly, I would have just played the Garurumon X from my hand, which would have added back a card, and then it would have given itself rush. So resolving this scenario, there really wasn't much change. I wouldn't have got the free pop of the Garurumon X because it wouldn't have had the piece underneath it, but Medieval Gallant resolves, it would have just popped everything on the board anyway, except for this remaining rookie. This remaining rookie would have lived, but it wouldn't have made a difference in the scenario. I still would have swung with Alliance doing 2 checks because Medieval has the Alliance. And then we would have just swung with the Garuda X there for the game. So that's the match there. I hope you enjoyed. We're going to be playing a lot more birds going forward in this week, and maybe you'll see our profile at the end of the week too. Subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.